welcome to the Just Zander podcast. I'm your host, Zander Gray, and this is episode 18. Episode 18, it is, I am scrambling, meaning it's the weekend, and usually I record on Sunday. I post it the next day on Monday. I've moved stuff around, and it just works better that way. However, it's been a pretty eventful weekend, to say the least. So if you listen to the past couple of podcasts, you know that I was unfortunately attacked by a dog, to no fault of the dogs or the family that owned the dog. Not kudos, really? Why would I say that? I'm not mad or anything, so we're going to do a quick recap. Was supposed to go to, I did go, so we were supposed to go out to the range shooting guns and then shooting video. Wanted to take some footage of the range or whatever. So anyway, went to his house, and then long story short, his dog bit me in the face and his other dog bit me in the thigh. I'm fine. The scar, it looks better now. So listen to my past couple of podcasts, and then you'll know exactly what happened. So anyway, so that day, July 4th, I was supposed to do a half marathon. Okay, so that's about 13.109 miles. Okay, never ran that far before in my life. Like the furthest that I've done is 6 or 7 miles, and that's when I used to run a lot. So anyway, I pushed it because of what happened. So I was like, I'm going to take 2 weeks to make sure I'm good to go. Everything's good. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. And again, didn't really train for it. Was supposed to train for it. So the whole point of doing the half marathon, I'm following this social media company called the Grand Running Club. Awesome club. They talk about running, talk about business and all that, and it's more than a run club. Anyway, so they were doing a virtual half marathon, and I just wasn't able to do it because of what happened. So I finally did it. If you follow me on social media or whatever, you saw that I posted it. Anyway, so I did 13.2 miles. And so I live in Washington State. I went to Tacoma down Ruston Way, and we ran on I wouldn't say it's a boardwalk, but it's by the water. And I did the longest stretch flat that I could do. So it's about 6 miles. 6 miles from point A to point B and back is 6 miles, I think. So it was very difficult. I ran, I think I ran for 4 to 5 miles first, and then I started kind of walking, and then I did the whole walk, run combination. And so grateful that my wife was there. She was just walking and just enjoying the sun, going to the beach, down by the beach and stuff, wearing a mask. And I, however, didn't wear a mask, but I had it on me. If I had to, I would have put it on, but I was 6 feet away from other people. I was running. There was a lot of people there too, but a lot of them are wearing masks, so which is cool. And some of them didn't because they were running and stuff. So it's okay. I did my part. I had it with me. And it was difficult. So it's been a day, and from here on down, so I'm pointing under my, below my chest on down, everything is sore. And this is going to be a little bit graphic, but I chapped my ass. Not my ass. I mean, I think I chapped around the hole. Anyway, TMI, but it was very uncomfortable because I was haven't been doing it for a while. So, and then did 13.2 miles, like a like a like a champ or an idiot. Either way. Also, it's so unbelievably hot right now in my house. I think it's 80 something today. And I have the lights going in this room, curtains, there's no air in this room, and I'm drinking hot tea. So that's how my weekend has been. And I just have been just drained. So after the run, I just ate a lot of food the whole day because, okay, so we're going to talk about it, a little bit about it. So if you guys don't know, you already know, I'm vegan, and I've been vegan. My wife and I have been vegan for going on 3 years now, or 3.5 years. I don't remember. Anyway, that's for another podcast. I do want to talk about it and why I did it. So anyway, I am vegan, and so yeah, after the run, I just ate a lot of food, just to get back the energy and hopefully recover from it. I'm still sore, but I'm feeling better because I'm just eating a lot just to have my body recover and doing my best to sleep because sleep is key in recovery. So I've been doing that as well. And so what I wanted to talk to you about in relation to what I was saying, I wanted to talk to you about goals. What are your goals? How important is it in your life? I didn't have that much time to think about it because I've always had goals in my life, be it small or big or whatever. I've always had them, and you know, I was talking to my wife. I'm like, man, I'm so out of it this weekend, just drained and tired, just doing my best to recover. But consistency is key when you're building a brand or building a following, building whatever that you do. And I was like, I have to, I have to do the podcast. So she was, she had a great idea and said, why don't you talk about goals? I was like, genius, you're a genius. You should be my producer. And she's like, you want me to write it down? Like, it's all right. I got it from here. Jeez, take it easy. I'm not hiring anybody. So yeah, let's talk about goals. How important is it? I think it's very important. And it just got me thinking, in your life, depending on what you want to do, depending on what your goal is in life, like obviously at least for me, speaking from my own perspective and experience, the goal is the pursuit of happiness, right? It's the pursuit of fulfillment. And I think that directly correlates to happiness and fulfillment and self-awareness. So for me, my goals are to provide for myself and my family, to be a better man, a better human being each day, to learn from my mistakes and to learn from what I can, the knowledge that I hopefully gain each and every day, and execute on them and refine them. And then the cycle goes on and you learn, execute, and refine. And hopefully and then be kind, compassionate, and empathetic along the way. And I'm just thinking about it, on top of all of that, and wanting to be an artist, wanting this podcast to succeed, hopefully that it'll help people. Hopefully there are listeners and that you are interested in what I have to say, and on and having the podcast, like I said before when I started it, it's 100% therapy for me. Being able to say stuff out loud, saying the ideas that I have out loud, and just hearing myself say it in a controlled environment, in a control where I put 20. Of course, the laptop went blank. Give me a second here. 20 to 29 minutes once a week of putting my thoughts and ideas on 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 tape, as you say, on record, and then posting out there, and hopefully that when people listen, that they can relate to it and they can have a conversation with me about it. And I've had a handful of conversations with people that took the time to listen to my podcast and to question me and to have a conversation with me. And I'm so grateful for that. And that it's, even though I don't have a ton of followers, but the people that are listening to it are very important to me, and you are very important to me, and you took the time to listen to what I have to say, and to hit me up and to talk to me about what my subjects are, and question me, and then have a conversation. And I'm very grateful for that. That's one of my goals, is to inspire people and to learn, and I think without goals, I think goals are directly, like I said, correlate to happiness and fulfillment. And I myself, sometimes there are days where I feel unfulfilled, or I feel that I'm underutilized for my skills. And again, I'm not an expert in anything, but when you spend enough time doing something over and over and over again, you get a better perspective on it. And there are things that I want to change. There are ideas that I have that I want to pursue. And I think having those little goals and big goals are key in achieving the fulfillment and happiness that you have in your life. And I believe that. And believing in yourself so delusionally that it will happen, and it can happen, and it's going to happen. That's insane. I mean, here's a story, okay? Just like, it's nothing big, nothing small. It's just very, very midway goal that I had. So I was working in this job. I'm still working at this job. I wanted to go to NAM. So NAM, for the life of me, I don't know exactly what it stands for, but if you're a musician or artist, you know what NAM is. Basically, what it is it's like, there's winter NAM and summer NAM, okay? And what it is companies like, a guitar company or amp company, or any sort of company in the music industry, they have this huge, okay, it's not a festival, it's like this convention. There you go. I was trying to find the word. This huge convention that it's invite only. I don't know if I think winter NAM is invite only. I think summer NAM is you can pay to get in. I'm not too sure. If you know, please correct me. I'm at least in the music industry that I should know. So I started this job. I quit my really good paying job that I wasn't happy at. I started this job, and they go to NAM every year, and it's huge. It's this huge thing, and so basically what I do, besides doing marketing, I also build pickups, and pickups are guitar pickups that are pretty much the electronics in the guitar that controls and make the tones sound good, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I built those and I market them or whatever. That's the company that I work for. So we get to go to NAM every year. So the first year, I told myself, I'm going to work my ass off and make damn sure that I go to NAM. And that was a goal. And my wife told me, okay, you just started there. You're not going to go, And I think I started at the time where they were already planning on going. So I didn't get to go the first time. And I just started there like a month. So I told myself, I'm going to go within the year. And I went. I went the next year. And it just got me thinking, yeah, it's not big. Yeah, you work, but they only, my boss of the company, they only take people that are like that need to be taken to the convention, and they needed me, and I worked my ass off to be an asset and to get up there. It might not be a big deal to you, but it is a big deal to me because I knew that it was gonna happen. I knew in every being in my body that I knew that I was gonna go, and it happened. And I think at that moment that I knew that if you have a goal and you put all of yourself in it, and that you're unbelievably believing in yourself in it, you can achieve it. And that's crazy. It's crazy that something like that can happen. And I told myself that I'm gonna learn how to produce music and mix music and start releasing my own music. I did that. I told myself that when I was in a band, I'm gonna do this whole album with my bandmates, and it's gonna be a concept album, and it's gonna happen. I did it. And I think the more you have those type of goals and you fulfill them, then you can aim a little bit higher the next time and higher the next time, and that that stuff like that is not impossible. When you really, really, really want something and you put your whole being in it, it's like you will achieve it. And what I'm saying is that I want you to go after your goals, to go after what you want to do. I think it's so important. The last podcast I talked about, being in my 30s, that we don't, people my age, we don't talk about our goals enough. We don't talk about what we really want to achieve in life, because there's a fear, because when you're in your 30s, mid 30s or late 30s, you're supposed to have everything figured out. And that's not true. Yeah, some may think, oh, you're a loser. And some may think like, oh, you haven't figured it out yet. You're in your 30s, bruh. And I get that. I get that. But you're not living my life, and they're not living your life. If you haven't figured it out yet, that's okay. You will figure it out, but you need to give yourself the chance to figure it out. You need to give yourself the chance to try things, to make mistakes, and to be self-aware, to know that, oh, maybe that's something that I don't want to do. I'm not interested in. And you need to do to know that. I think I talked about this. I'm trying to remember. So I tried to be a tattoo artist. Wasn't for me. I could draw, but not well. But I've learned that, especially drawing, a couple of tattoo artists that I admire and talk to and look up to, it's a skill that you learn. Back in the day, in Leonardo da Vinci days, those skills are taught in schools to how to draw and how to paint. It's a skill. It's a skill set. And the guy that I was hoping to apprentice from or whatever, he's like, I put a lot of work into it. Like I wasn't a good artist, but I learned the ways of how to do it. I made myself an artist, and that's one of the things that is possible. And I tried doing it. I tried to draw, and but he told me, but you have to put everything into it. You have to be 100% in it. And I wasn't in it because I wanted to do music. Music was my number one. So that's one of the things that I wanted to try, didn't do, and then went back to music. Wanted to be I wanted to be a marketing specialist. I was applying at jobs or whatever, and and then it became that that's not what I wanted to do, and then it and then start doing video stuff, and I bought a nice camera. I started doing video work and doing my own videos, doing all my own music video. I mean, I'm terrible, but I learn and look at YouTube University and start learning how to actually do it. And maybe I can start a business. Maybe I can do this. And I did some side jobs. And then I just realized that's just not what I wanted to do. I want to do my own thing. I want to make my own things. And working with somebody that have a different set of goals or visual or how they want to see is just not what I want to do. And then it comes back to music. So now it's like, okay, dude, like figure it out. I'm telling myself that. And it always comes down back to music, comes down back to me. And I've realized that I have to build myself as a brand. I'm a business, that I have to figure out what I'm about, figure out what I want to spew, what I want to talk about, my messaging and all that. And so, for the past couple of podcasts that I talked about that were my goals is building a catalog of songs, completed songs with vocals, and then also instrumentals that I can release and just keep releasing music endlessly. Right now I'm going a month at a time. That's the goal. And I have it set for the rest of the year already. And then making more guitar samples and a mix of guitar and key samples for just producers to just give it to them, let them use it. And then if it's, credit me or whatever. And then in the future, also make a movie, compose for a movie. And these are all my goals that I'm working towards. And then, but to get there, I need to get better at what I do. I need to get better at the craft. I bought myself a bass guitar because I was getting really tired of 808s and synth bass for the beats or for the music that I'm doing. So let's try my hand on bass guitar now. So, and I'm going to be honest, I'm very proud of myself because in the beginning, I never thought that I could do any of this stuff. I never saw myself as a creator or artistic dude, I doubt myself so much in the past, and I'm sure you do too. And I think believing in yourself wholeheartedly and knowing that you can do something even if you're bad is important. But be self-aware that you're bad. That those are the things that you can improve on. I'm not an amazing guitar player. Let's be honest. I'm not at all. But I learned how I wanted to play. I learned the basics. I learned music theory a little bit. I'm not amazing at it. And then I start playing piano. I start learning how to play piano. And I just realized, I don't play bass, okay? I'm a guitar player that plays bass. I used to play bass in a band, but come on, I was terrible. I was really young. And then when I bought the bass, I'm like, okay, I need to learn it. And then and you might laugh at this, but my friend told me, the first 4 strings on the guitar and the four strings on the bass, they correlate. Like it's the same note, it's just an octave lower. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And I should have known that. I should have known that. Anyway, you're never too old to learn anything new. So, I bought a bass and I'm proud of myself to be able to play guitar, play bass, and play piano. I'm not amazing at it, but I am proud of myself that I'm able to do that and to be able to write music from scratch, a song from scratch, vocals and everything, and that I vow to get better at it every day. And I think to come back full circle is to just please have goals for yourself, even if it's small. Hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to be able to run a mile in 7 minutes or a mile in 10 minutes. Those are great goals. I want to eat less sugar, you know? I think those are important, and hold yourself accountable for it. And if you don't make it, it's okay. You have the next day, you have tomorrow. And if you didn't make it in the month, it's okay. The next month, you have the next month. But hold yourself accountable for it. Know that you're fucking up, but tomorrow's a new day and you fix it. I know these are all words. I get it. These are all words, and it's easier said than done. I understand that, and that life sometimes get in the way of certain things that you want to achieve. But then, if it's worth a lot to you to achieve it, then you can achieve it, and you will. Okay, so that's all I wanted to talk about. I didn't think I had anything to talk about, but I did. It's been 26 minutes, and I got to end it before my camera goes off. I really need to get a new camera so it can go longer than 29 minutes. I mean, I can record longer, but I mean, I like having the visual of the video and the audio. You know, yeah, I'll change a few things in the future, but we'll see. So let's talk about what I am grateful for. I am grateful for today. I am grateful for that I finished the half marathon that I did, that I was holding myself accountable for, that I was going to do it. I was going to finish it, even though it was 2 weeks late. Stuff happens. Got my face bitten, but I completed it, and I'm very proud of myself. And it's okay to be proud of yourself. Another thing that I'm grateful for is my wonderful, wonderful wife that always supports me and that indulge me in certain things with buying things and you know, it's like whenever I want something, I have to negotiate, and it's good because I'm grateful for that, because then if I were to sell something to anybody, I can, you know, although it's never successful, but I get to at least practice it, you know, selling her something, selling me to her so I can buy stuff. But essentially those things are for me. I'm investing in myself, okay? Give me a break. Anyway, I'm also very grateful for the life that I have. Recently, my grandma, you know, she lives in Singapore. She, oh man, it's 28 minutes. She lives in Singapore, and she hurt her leg, and she went through surgery, and surgery went well, and she's resting, and I got to talk to her for a little bit. And, you know, I keep saying life is long, and it's crazy because I think about this. You get older, and sometimes you forget that the people around you get older too. So cherish the ones around you, because it's key. And also my song did well. I think it did well. My single that came out on time, please listen to it. It's out everywhere. And the next one's going to come up in September 8th. And we'll talk about that soon. You know, you can follow me at Just Zander on Instagram, and everything else is at Just Zander Gray. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to episode 18. Like and subscribe, rate and review. Have a good one. Thank you. Oh my Lord.